Hi everybody, Dr. Lisa Thompson here, and welcome to another edition of the Doctor is in Live, coming to you from my home office outside of Eden Prairie, Minnesota on this gorgeous Monday afternoon in October. I just love fall, and October is one of my all-time favorite months where the foliage just pops, the sky is so blue, and it is a great time of the year to be an entrepreneur. Hey Keith, glad to have you on the show today. What we're going to be talking about today is my best tips when it comes to planning your blog content. Now, a couple of sessions ago on a couple of live episodes, hey Judy, glad to have you on, I recommended to people that if you're first getting started, you need to be blogging every single day. And the reason for that is that you need to start building an audience and you need to be showing consistency, because we talked about, hey Teresa, glad to have you on the show today, is people's attention spans have dwindled. And I've mentioned this several times that our attention spans now, within the last 10 years since we've had smartphones, is about 8 seconds, and a goldfish attention span is 9. Think about that. A human being's attention span is less than a goldfish. So when you are, hi Ahir, glad to have you on the show today, is the key to blogging and having blogging success is that you have to come out of the gate to be producing content consistently. And blogging every day is going to help you with that, because if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. And you've got to make sure that you're grabbing people and you're creating this content. Now, the biggest challenge that I had when I first got started, and I see a lot of people who begin blogging, is coming up with content. They get writer's block and they sit there and it's like they make blogging a real arduous task. And what I'm going to share with you today is some content marketing planning tips, blogging tips, that are going to help you stay ahead of the game and create consistent content that your audience is going to love. Now, before I get into that, I just want to do one quick housekeeping item. Is up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see a notification button. Click on that notification button, and that way Facebook will always send you a message when I go live. That way we can have a great conversation together and interact together. Hey Junie, glad to have you on the show today. So what you need to start doing is you have to physically plan out what your content is going to be for the week. Get a planner. Don't try to plan all your content up in your head, because you're going to forget. Don't put it on a post-it note, because post-it notes tend to get lost. Invest in a planner. You can go buy one right now at Office Max or on Amazon. I get a daily calendar, and it gives me the whole week with times in it. And what I do is I plan out my content for the week. So you want to pick a day of the week where you're going to sit down and spend about a half an hour to an hour and plan your blog content out for the week. Because when you do this important step, it's going to make your content writing so much easier, and you're going to be able to knock out your content rather quickly. So make sure you invest in a day planner. You can get one for like $20. But I learned this very important lesson from Eric Worre, where he said for a home business owner, your boss is your calendar. And if you don't have that filled with appointments and putting in when you're doing content, you're not going to make any money, period. All right? So invest in yourself. Get a calendar. Now, I like to physically write it out, and I like to see the whole week so I can see where I can put what I'm going to be focusing on. So that's why I like to do it that way. Now, to come up with tips, what I suggest for beginning bloggers is you want to do blog series. So what you can do is if you are in, now for example, in my company that I'm an affiliate in, we have trainings every Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern and Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So what I do is I attend the Wednesday night one very consistently, almost religiously. And what I do is I go into that webinar and I have a notepad, and my goal is I'm going to come up with 5 takeaways from that training. And then what I do is I structure a blog post based on those 5 takeaways. I don't give everyone the 5 takeaways right away, all right? I like to build it in a series, and doing a series like that is very, very powerful because people and as human beings, we crave completion. So if we're doing one tip or one takeaway in a series, people need to come back to finish it, okay? That's what makes us really powerful, and they were going to come back and you're going to get them hooked onto coming back and reading your content, looking for your content. So think for 5. Why do I say 5? Monday through Friday, you want to be dealing with content that is specific to your niche. You're teaching skill sets to your niche. Now on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, make that more mindset. Make that more reviews and recommendations. So for example, on Saturday, you could do blog posts on your top 5 books for personal development for one Saturday. Another Saturday could be, the top 5 books on health if you're in the health and wellness niche, or your top 5 podcasts on blank. Who are the top 5 industry leaders you need to follow? Okay, see where I'm going there? Pick a series and your recommendations, because now that you're, during the week you're establishing yourself as the authority, now you can do some recommendations on the weekend for people to watch. Hi Mike, glad to have you on the show today. Then on Sunday, save it for quotes, motivational, inspirational, because those posts really also get good engagement, and it gets people looking forward to coming and looking at your blog. So that's what I would start doing if I were brand new. Now, if you're not, let's say you're in a network marketing company, you're in the health and wellness niche, what you could do is that if your company does industry trainings, maybe they do webinars on products, or they're doing webinars on how to build your business, you could do that same format that I taught you there, is find the 5 takeaways and then do a series every single day, Monday through Friday, on that. You can also, if you take courses or attend a webinar, you can do that as well from industry leaders. Excuse me. So that is a really simple way to get yourself out there. It's a great way to have content available to you, and you can just look at your notes. And then the great thing when you're doing one takeaway at a time is that you can devote time teaching from that, sharing your impressions. And if you really want to turbocharge it, you can write up your takeaways and then do a Facebook Live about the takeaway, all right? And in conjunction with a written blog post. That's also very, very powerful. Now, some of you I know have jobs, or you have very active families where you're taking kids to fall is one of the busiest times of the year. You've got soccer, you got football, you've got arts and crafts going on, band, you name it. And so it can be very difficult to do content every single day with a blog post, and I get that a lot. And for me too, it was a challenge at the beginning. But WordPress allows you to do something really, really cool. And that is, if you have your planner, you can look at your planner and block off a chunk of time where you can write up, hey Daniel, I'm glad that you like the content, is you can take your planner and schedule a block of time on the weekend where you're going to bang out 5 blog posts Monday through Friday. all right? And then you can do one for Saturday and Sunday. But at least for Monday through Friday, you can sit and devote maybe 2 to 3 hours and crank out your content. And see, when you're doing a series, that's going to make it very easy to do. So that's what I would recommend that you do as well if you're pressed for time. And see, what WordPress allows you to do now is that you can schedule your posts to be published at certain times. So as you're creating your blog posts, instead of hitting the publish button, there's going to be another button to the left of that publish button where you can drop it down and say, publish this on a certain date. And you can select the date and the time for that blog post to go up. So you can have all your content written, and then what you can do is all of a sudden, you can now, your content is going out as if you did it during the week. This is a great technique to do if you know you're going to be going out on vacation or on a live event and you're not going to be able to blog consistently. You can go out and take a chunk of time and you can do your blog posts ahead of time, and people aren't going to know the difference. So that is a great way for you, especially in the beginning, to really establish yourself as the authority, and you're going to start training your people to come looking for your blog posts. Are you guys getting value today from this live session? If you are, leave a comment and share, or if you have any questions, you can leave them below here too. And I'm going to give you a quick little bonus tip too, is that if you're doing a series, now this is really cool, if you know that an industry leader is doing like a product launch, all right? I did this back in June where a good friend of mine, Mark Herbert, he's a video marketing expert. He launched a very big product called a video marketing course, the No Fear Video Marketing System. And as an affiliate, he gave us a heads up when he was going to start promoting that in June. So what I did in the week leading up to the launch, I started doing a blog series on video marketing. And what I did is I just wrote out, and I just did these little blog posts, and then I hinted in a call to action saying, you know, my good friend Mark, he's doing a product launch on video marketing. Get on my list so that you can get a heads up when this is going to go live, as well as some bonuses that I have. And I wound up placing in the top 20 in his product launch because I used my blog and I created a blog series. And at the end of the blog series, what I did when I knew it was coming up toward the hard sell at the end, I did a product review at the very end outlining his whole video marketing, No Fear video marketing system. So that is a great way that you can also, when you have that planner out in front of you, you should also be writing down when your leaders are doing major product launches. And if you know what they're an expert in, whether it's blogging or whether it's video marketing, social media prospecting, what you can then do is structure your content around that product launch. And that way you're setting up, you're really setting the table for people. Hey, Ryan Cody McMorris is on. He is a rock star. Taught me everything about Facebook Live. You know, go follow him. He's just one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. So make sure when you are doing blogging, all right, do the series. I cannot stress that enough. It's one of the easiest ways to get you going and branding yourself as an expert. And when you pair it with Facebook Live, you're going to see such a big result. And people are going to look forward to interacting with you. You're going to look forward to reading your blog posts. They're going to look forward. They're going to know, like, and trust you enough that you're going to start dominating and getting sales. I mean, this year alone for me is one of the best years I've had as making sales as an affiliate. And I'm just really excited because I'm setting the momentum up for 2017 to be even better. So that's what you have to do. And if you're starting to blog, this is a great way to get yourself going. Start doing those series. And I'm going to give you one little final tip. I just am throwing the value out today, is when you're doing a series, make sure that you're putting links to the previous post. So like, let's say if you're doing a Facebook Live series starting today, the next day when you're saying this is part 2, if you haven't read part 1, click here. Then with day 3, if you haven't read parts 1 and 2, here's part 1, here's part 2. And then by the time you get to the end of the series, you can have your, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. What that does is now you're going to have some links. You're creating internal backlinks, which Google loves. Google loves backlinks. Google loves internal backlinks. It's going to elevate your website in the search engine. So that's just another little trick that you can have up your sleeve so that you are finally starting to get some great traction. Now, once again, make sure you share this post, you share this video with people who you know that are just starting to blog, and they need to know how to structure content, how to do content. Share this video with them, because I know that this is going to help them get started. It's going to reduce overwhelm. It's going to reduce writer's block, and you're going to get success out of the gate. Make sure that you hit the notification button so you're aware when I go live Monday through Friday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And make sure you head over to my website at drlisamthompson.com. You can check out my blog, and I have a free gift waiting there for you, my 5 online tools you need to build a buyer's audience on social media. I'll give you a hint. Blogging is one of them, but you got to find out what the other 4 tools are. It's an easy read, only 15 pages, but it's packed with value that I know you'll appreciate. So with that said, have a great evening, and make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're going to talk more about blogging, and this time we're going to be addressing the question with blogging, how long do you need to blog? So with that said, have a good night, and we'll talk tomorrow.